Good evening, fine folks of the internet. It is Thursday, October 30th, 2025. I am live from a library where I have my library smells of rich mahogany and I have many leather-bound books. Just kidding. I'm in a hotel room somewhere, and I thought, maybe the bed is probably not the greatest backdrop. So you've got this beautiful mahogany-filled library. Anyway, enough about me. It's Coach's Corner with Heck and King here on another Thursday live from Corby's, and like I said, live from a hotel room. We've got a marathon of a baseball game. I believe it's the second longest World Series game ever, tied with the Red Sox game in 2018, which, funny enough, the game went 18 innings, which is two games in one, which is kind of crazy. The Dodgers ended up winning on a Freddie Freeman walk-off home run, and then the next day, when everybody should have been dead tired, the Blue Jays won. So we have a series. Everybody's predictions that the Dodgers would roll has been wrong, and we'll get to that. Plus, Brian Kelly got fired, so that was a big deal. So we'll get into the college football coaching carousel, some high school stuff, really whatever we want to talk about here on Coach's Corner on the day before Halloween.
Coach's Corner with Coach Heck and the infamous Coach Patrick King. Some of the stuff we say,
we're not responsible for our actions.
No,
we're sober.
In essence, and you could tell me to shut the hell up, but in essence, you got chemo face, right?
I got chemo face.
When I go to the scores table to talk to Coach, I said, get as many pictures as you can. And it kind of reminded me that the stories you said when you coached the McDonald's game, when you had LeBron say, okay, LeBron, sign this because someday it's going to be important. What did one casket say to the other? Is that you coughing? And you ain't that good. The scouting report said you were pretty good. You ain't that good.
Coach's Corner with Heck and King live at Corby's Irish Pub in South Bend is brought to you by Tony Letcher with Health Markets Insurance, On Funeral Homes in Mishawaka, Frick's Driving School in Mishawaka, and the Harbor Group Planned Wealth down in Anderson. If you're on YouTube, make sure and subscribe to the channel and like the video and comment in the chat. Now here's Heck and King.
Yes, here is Heck and King. Thank you. At the Wigwam. Starting at power forward, number 44, 6'5", 188-pound senior, Patrick Little Pat King.
Oh, dear.
Starting at guard, New Prairie Cougars. Starting at guard, the Mayor, Kenny the Mayor Peterson. And starting at forward at Manchester College, 6'5", 207 pounds of lean, mean, fighting machine, Ronnie Hecklinski.
And the crowd goes mild.
Do I love these buttons, man? This is worth this board that we got is worth every penny that we could ever pay for it. A good evening, sports fans. We have a great show tonight planned from Corby's. And Corby's, I can't talk enough about Corby's. Corby's is such a great gathering. Corby's Irish Pub here in South Bend on LaSalle Street. A little subdued now because it's early in the evening, but I don't know, maybe 9 o'clock, 9:30, this place will start hopping. If there was a Notre Dame home game 2 days from now on Saturday, this place would be hopping right now. To my right, the infamous Little Pat King. To Pat's right, the mayor of New Carlisle, forget New Prairie, New Carlisle, Kenny, the Mayor Peterson.
And we might add the future president of Amazon Corporation. And
I hope to live long enough for
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I will add this. The director of E.T. Pearl,
Sure, if you want to say so, yes.
the director of E.T. Pearl, the owner of E.T. Pearl.
Give him a
Yes.
little publicity.
If anybody wants to, we got a bucket here. If anybody wants to donate to E.T. Pearl Fund, it's amazing. So E.T. Pearl,
Yeah,
Yes,
basketball
yes.
people know about E.T.
so
Pearl.
E.T. Pearl is a website, and it's an amazing website because go ahead and tell us about it.
It was started by Earl Mishler. Actually started many years ago from his home in Culver. He had all of these records that were kept in a filing cabinet there. And in the early 2000s, he created this website for high school basketball. And it's really what he created was really an amazing thing. And I just consider myself the caretaker and keeping it going and trying to update it as much as I can through, doing what he tried to do.
Well, and basically what it created, it's the box scores and the statistics for every high school basketball game in this area. And for instance, my dad played at South Bend, Washington in the 40s.
Right.
You can go to the 1940s or as you get on E.T. Pearl, you can go to South Bend, Washington, and you can hit the era of the 40s
Yep.
or the 50s or the 60s or 70s. And it has every schedule. It has every result of every game.
Correct.
And next to the roster of every player is how many points they scored
Yep.
in
And then-
their career or that season.
That season, right? When they get to their senior year, then it adds up to the career points.
And it's literally amazing. Okay, for instance, and I mean I would certainly have to do this. My sincere condolences and prayers for the family of one of my ex-teammates, Dave Kuzmits.
Right.
Dave Kuzmits played at St. Joe in 1973, graduated in 73, was a 3-year starter, great player, got a full ride scholarship to Notre Dame, played 4 years for Digger Phelps at Notre Dame. Dave battled some cancer and just battled it courageously for 3 years and passed away last Friday. So if you go to 1973, it will show you the roster. It would show you Dave Kuzmits' name. It would show you how many points he scored his senior year. And then it would show you how many total career points he has.
Right.
So Dave Kuzmits, 999 points. Can't we find him a point? Can you
what he
go
had?
back
I
999?
may have to go through Earl's records again to find that point to get him 1,000.
Can you find him a point?
There's got to be a free throw somewhere.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. Find him a freaking point so we can say Dave was 1,000 point scorer. So we never knew of this in this area when we were growing up, because if Bob Donewald would have known that Dave Kuzmits had 999 points, he certainly would have left him in.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Now, okay, the great Tom Abernathy, South Bend St. Joe, 1972, played at IU, played a national champion, played 6 years in the NBA, 2 with the Lakers, 3 with the Warriors, 1 with the Pacers, 997 points.
Oh, gee.
We can't find that 3 points to get him to 1,000.
No, so and he was 997 for 2 years.
Yeah.
But and again, if we would have seen that, right? Now today you can see how many points anybody scores. John Laskowski.
Yeah.
Great John Laskowski, super sub, played at IU,
Right.
973 points.
And those guys were all on the same team.
Yeah, no, so Laskowski was a senior,
Right.
Aber was a junior, and Kuz was a sophomore. And Kuz started for 3 years with those 2 other guys.
Wow.
Right.
And you're talking about a pretty good basketball team, but
Yes.
South Bend basketball, and you can attest to this.
Oh, yeah.
South Bend basketball in the 70s,
They never
Was
won a sectional, did they?
Was dynamite.
they did win a sectional. Tom Abernathy's senior year,
Okay.
they won the sectional.
Did they win the regional in 73?
They got beaten the regional by Portage.
Did they really?
Yes, but South Bend basketball was amazing.
Adams going to the state finals.
73.
Yeah,
73.
I remember
mean,
that one.
All that
Yeah,
talent.
no, you played them.
I remember that one.
Yeah, you beat Adams, right?
No, they beat us.
Adams beat you?
That
Was it 99-94? What?
the highest scoring game in the state finals ever. Still in the books.
Yeah.
Still in the
Steve
book.
Austin,
Yep.
Yeah.
Jimmy Webb,
Yep.
Booney Hill,
Yep.
Herman Helicopter, Marshall Robinson,
Helicopter, yep.
and Kevin Patterson.
Right.
Kevin didn't play that year.
I thought Kevin was a little guard that year, sophomore guard.
I've talked to him. I think
It could have been Val Martin.
Val Martin played. Ashby played.
Pinhead. Pinhead played? Wow.
Sudhop was a sophomore.
Yes.
And if you want to go even further, the county schools in that era too were pretty good. With
Who
Bruce
cares?
We all care.
John
Butte
Glenn
County,
played-
John Glenn, LaVille.
Bruce Dayhuff was there in the 70s.
Yeah.
Mike Lightfoot, I think, was there
Is
in
it
the early
Bethel?
set. Well, yeah, he was at LaVille in the
LaVille.
70s.
Yeah.
I mean, you go up and down.
Grim was at Plymouth
Grim was at Plymouth
for 1 year.
the multiple transfers that he had. But yeah, basketball all around here in that era. You played it, you know it. I mean, it was really good basketball.
Your summer games at the bookstore were
At Steppen Center.
Steppen Center.
At Steppen Center were amazing. The high school coaches would sit on the hill. There was a hill there. And obviously they couldn't make us play
Right.
at nights there, but they were there with their pad,
They knew who was
taking
there.
attendance. And I mean, you could come on any summer night at Steppen Center at Notre Dame. There was probably 20 courts out there, and you could come and watch any high school player in the area play.
Yeah.
And you would see the head coaches sitting on the hill watching.
Yeah.
Some would bring lawn chairs. Some would sit right on the hill. But basketball in those days was literally amazing.
Yeah.
So here's a great John Adams story. I graduate in 74. I play against Sudhop. As I'm heading out for the jump ball, I look up and say, Mr. Sudhop. I shake his hand. I'll take it easy on me tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That's 7
That's
foot.
smart. That's
7
smart.
foot. But so I get a college scholarship to St. Edward's University in Austin, Texas. Okay. And I had known Marshall Robinson, and you knew Marshall. Marshall coached for you a little bit, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And his nickname in high school was Herman Helicopter. Do you remember Herman Helicopter?
I did not hear this story.
Oh,
no.
yeah.
I did not know Herman Helicopter.
But his vertical jump was second to none, right?
That's the reason he was called Helicopter.
Yeah, it was second to none. He could just jump. So I roll into Texas. I roll into St. Edwards. I'm and the coaches say, hey, we have a meeting at such and such a time in the gym, blah, 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 in a classroom. So I go in a classroom. I look to my left. There's Herman Helicopter sitting. I didn't know that he was playing at St. Edwards.
Maha was there.
That's amazing. You know that Maha.
Maha was there.
Hey, so what a great night tonight. We have a couple guests coming on at 7:15, but this is so much fun just to talk. And I know my guy Chad Kirk, who played for me at Richmond High School. I know he's listening in Carolina. Chad, type something in for us because these names I know you're going to remember, but obviously Pat played at Anderson High School.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about your Dave Hadaway story from Adams, who almost took the Anderson job.
Oh, okay. This is a story that Coach Hadaway told me back in probably the late 90s, early 2000s. It was on one of those trips we went down to the Hall of Fame banquets in Indianapolis. So the 3-hour trip down there. It was him, myself. I'd sit in the back of their station wagon.
Put your kid in the back.
Yeah, Jim Powers was with us, and
Wow.
Jim Powers Sr.
Yes,
I mean Coach Powers. From South Bend LaSalle.
Okay, those three, and they were telling stories from the 30s and 40s. They were telling 30s and 40s stories. Well, then Hadaway eventually gets to one about Anderson, and it turned out that he had interviewed for the Anderson job in 70, 71, whenever the job became open, and had gone down and had talked to Mr. Cummings, who the Anderson people would know who I'm talking about, our athletic director, who happened to be the head coach of the 46 state champs. So he was Johnny Wilson's coach.
I mean, and so what was Johnny Wilson's famous line?
Something about busting a grape.
I wonder if he got that from Coach Cummings. I don't know.
Can't bust a grape.
So
Kind of like my point guard
the
ability.
story Coach Hadaway would tell me was that in the interview, Mr. Cummings told him, Dave, we have a group of players coming in that are freshmen right now. And back then,
And that group was you.
and I was in that group. We have a group coming in that are freshmen that will be sophomores that we have high hopes for, and told him some of the expectations that as a group at the school they had for the next coach and for the next team for the next three years. They fully expected that team to get to the state championship. I mean,
Wow.
literally, they just said, we need a state championship out of that team. And we will you will have over 6,000 season ticket holders, and you will have like 2 or 3 radio shows that you'll have to deal with, and you'll have college coaches in here almost every day recruiting these kids.
Wow.
Those are some of the expectations that we'll have. Are you interested? So coach says he went back home, talked to his wife, and his wife, Becky, who is a wonderful lady. It's just that she should be sainthood. And Dougie would tell you that. You know, his mom was fantastic. She was always so nice to me. But bottom line is, he said, I didn't want to, it was too much.
Sure.
It was too much. He said, I was happy. I knew I had a good team coming in here in South Bend. Said, I decided I was going to stay. So he said, I turned it down.
Wow.
He said, I turned it down and I chose to stay in South Bend. So when we played them in the 73 state finals, you can imagine his motivation that was the team, you know, he's
That Charlie Cummings said, hey, this is the team.
He said, okay, here's Anderson in the state finals. We were ranked 3rd. They were ranked 6th or 7th. And we were the highest rated team left. Everybody in front of us had gotten beat. I think Hammond High and Indianapolis Shortridge were 1 and 2, and we were number 3. And here we are, you know, coming in there. We had just beaten Fort Wayne Northrop the week before with Walter Jordan and beat them bad. I mean, like 90-something to 70. I mean, it was ugly. And it was a Northrop team that the South Bend people knew about because they had played them during the season, because Northrop and Adams had played during the season. So that when they beat Anderson in that state finals, I mean, he was just thrilled to death. And I just wonder if that was his state finals.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you could have ended up playing for Dave Hadaway.
Sure.
Right.
And it wouldn't have been called Hadaway Shack. It would have been called.
Can you imagine the wigwam with Hadaway in there?
Here's a great trivia question for you guys. What legendary Indiana basketball coach played for Dave Hadaway? Yes, sir.
So who did that?
Arnold Horshack.
Arnold.
Yeah.
God, you're so good. Arnold Horshack from
Welcome back, Cotter.
Welcome
Great
back,
show.
Cotter.
Great show.
Read the question again. I was more interested in the Arnold Horshack.
Yes. What legendary Indiana coach played for Dave Hadaway?
Well, there's Steve Austin, but I'm not sure if that's who you're talking about.
No.
What year would this have been?
1961 to 63.
I know who it is.
You know who it is, I think. Heck, do you know?
He's from Plymouth.
Yes, he is. Well, he's
Jack Edison?
Yes, he did.
Green Township.
Jack Edison played for Dave Hadaway.
It's junior and senior year.
Wow.
They played at Green Township.
That's right.
That's where Hadaway.
Who did he play? Who was Jack Edison's coach's sophomore year?
At Green Township?
At Green Township.
I don't know, but who cares?
Oh, you'll care.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you'll care when you know.
Who?
Jim Reinbold.
I'm drawing a blank on that one.
Man.
Jim Reinbold. So think about that.
Jim Reinbold, and we just lost Joel, about a year ago?
At the the summer.
Yeah, Joel, the Reinbolds were
3 or 4 months ago.
Man, we could talk all night about this, man. But
isn't that about the time Green Township was closed down and was
it closed down in 65.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I know a lot. There were several of those guys. Chris Clark, DePel, a lot of the guys I was with at Adams when I moved to town were all Green Township
Clark
people.
DePel?
Yes.
So you knew Clark DePel?
Yeah, I taught with him.
Clark DePel was one of my park directors at 40 Park.
Well,
so before Clark DePel, Bob Berger, Greg Humnicky,
I've heard the story.
Clark DePel.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah, and he's a Marion Giant, by the way. I knew that.
So is Clark DePel still around?
No, he passed away about 5 years ago.
Oh man,
yeah, good people. That's what when I came to Adams in the middle '90s. Those are the people I taught with.
Yeah, Jack Edison played 4 years at Green Township.
Wow.
Yeah, he was outstanding, obviously. But
Well,
of course, that's all on the website there. We can find their point
Hadaway
totals.
came up here and was an assistant coach with Barnbrook.
Wow.
Yep.
Isn't that amazing?
Yep. We were going to talk.
Brian Kelly.
Let's talk about these coaches. Scott had
BK.
mentioned earlier about Brian Kelly.
Sergeant Carter.
BK, man.
Brian Kelly's no longer coaching.
Yeah, so Brian Kelly, his stops after he left Central Michigan and I believe, what was it, Saginaw Valley?
Grand Valley State.
Grand Valley State. His stops at Cincinnati, 34-6. Who's going to argue with 34-6? 34-6, he gets the head coaching job at Notre Dame, 115-40, the all-time winningest coach at the University of Notre Dame.
More wins than
Well,
Eric
I think
Parsekian.
I put a little bit of asterisk by that because he softened the schedule a lot.
That's an opinion. You can only play. You can only
Everybody's got one, right?
He had multiple.
Just like everybody's
Ball
got
State,
opinions.
Toledo.
It doesn't care.
Tulsa.
It doesn't
Western
matter.
Michigan.
Look at Kurt Signetti. Let's take Let's take Virginia off and put Indiana State on. And we're going to talk about
Kennesaw
Indiana State here in
yeah.
a minute. But Brian Kelly, the all-time winningest coach at the University of Notre Dame. And then he takes the LSU job, 10 years, $95 million plus more money added on. Takes the LSU job.
Stop it.
30.
Gomer Pyle music.
34-14
Never a dull moment around here.
at LSU with an overall record of 276, but he gets fired because,
He can't win the big one.
no, it's all what? What did Pete Bell say?
It's all about Jimmy's and Joe's, and it's all about who can win for me right now.
It's all about money.
It's about money.
It's
Plain
all
and
about
simple.
money because he went last year to the LSU administrators and said, I need more money. I got to bring in better players. They gave him more money. He brought players in. But here's the deal. At some point in time, you got to coach those players up and you got to make sure you bring in the right players.
I agree.
And obviously he didn't. They struggled. So 10 years ago, would Brian Kelly have been fired 5 years ago?
No.
No.
Probably
No.
not. Probably
Not yet.
Not yet.
I mean, maybe at the end of the season.
A lot of these guys
Well-
have been fired in the middle of the year. It wouldn't have happened.
Well,
Yeah.
and the thing too is, I guess there was some contentious. They had a pretty contentious meeting on Sunday between him and the athletic director, and things got heated pretty fast.
Well, and they would with Brian Kelly. Anybody who watches Brian Kelly coach him up, Brian Kelly he's an older style of coach.
Sergeant Carter.
If he's got something to say to you, he's going to say it to you.
Right.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
He's not going to walk on eggshells.
Well, and he chewed some people out on the sidelines.
Yeah, and he knew
people didn't
what
like
the
it.
deal was
Yeah.
Right.
in that last game. So he got into it with his assistants, but that was just his way.
Right. Well,
And I'm not going to say that I disagree with his way because I came up a lot that way. You came up a lot that way.
I mean, we've chewed some people out.
Yeah. Yeah. But here's the deal too, Kenny. I know you're getting ready to say something because you're itching to say something. Here's the deal too. They have so many cameras on coaches nowadays.
oh my gosh, yes.
That you can't pick your nose, eat it without getting away from it, man.
Unless you win a bet on Caddyshack.
I'm just saying.
He'll eat anything.
Well, you know what? When I was coaching in Texas, to kind of expand on what you just said, we were told, think how many face masks how many times did your face mask get grabbed? Getting
You mean the
attention?
Lou Holtz attention grabber?
Yes.
Yeah.
We were told flat out in Texas, don't do that. Said if you want to talk to a ball player, you turn your back to to your crowd. You can put your arm around his shoulder as much as you want. You can squeeze his neck as hard as you want, and you can talk into his ear hole and say anything you want. Just do not turn and look. Do not turn and go face to face with him.
Yeah. And so anybody.
But those are the little things we were told 30 years ago in our coaching. as far as taking care of issues on the field. You could be as mad as you want. You can put your arm around his shoulder pads if you want to. You can talk into his ear hole, but do not talk to him face to face.
Yeah, and to me, I've tried to give up bad words lately, but that's chicken blank. And Brian Kelly would have felt that way too.
Sure.
Because there were many times the Notre Dame quarterbacks, I used to feel bad for him, but I had people say, he should. No, he's coaching.
Right.
And if he gets a little, was anybody going to tell Bob Knight not to coach that way?
Oh,
No.
I know.
No.
And was Bob Knight revered? He
absolutely.
was.
Until he started losing.
Yeah, and once he started losing and he had a little chink in his armor, then some of the pundits could get under or could get in there. But it was, I don't think, for me, it was, here's what kind of got me about Brian Kelly. When he went down to LSU and
His family?
yeah,
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
say it again.
Family?
He tried to change his lingo, the way he talked.
I don't
And
know
he was talking about instant grits too, I'm sure.
I don't know who his publicist was, but that was a bad.
That was a bad move.
That was a bad move.
Yeah.
That was a bad move. But here is the good move to the tune of $54 million.
Where do I sign?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, $54 million.
Where do I sign?
And run to the AD's office. But then here's what happened in the state of Louisiana. The governor came out because the AD is Scott Woodward. Scott Woodward was the AD at Texas A&M that had signed Jimbo Fisher.
Bo Fisher
And Jimbo Fisher had the largest buyout in the history of buyouts.
still does.
Still does. And so now he turns around and gives Brian Kelly this mega amount of money. The governor a couple of days ago has a press conference that this athletic director will not choose our next coach.
He's cost two schools what in excess of, I think it's 130 million.
Yeah. He won't come near this decision. Well, so in my way of thinking, why wouldn't he have just fired the AD right there?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? Instead of saying what he did and trying to politically advance his own career to appease the people, right?
The AD really has no legs anymore. Anytime, let's say he wants to get a new baseball coach or he wants to get a new basketball coach. Those coaches are going to say, no. Said, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving until the president says something about it. The president basically taken over.
Yeah, I know.
Now what do you got on?
Lifestyles of the rich and famous. That's what he's made.
Do we have somebody on?
Just Scott.
Oh, okay.
Just Scott. Hey, Dominic, I see you. Hey, one of my students told me he was going to tune in today that I had in class. So appreciate you guys. My fourth hour class today, science
It
class.
was a doozy, wasn't it?
They were. Dominic, you need to tell your buddies they were a pain in the ass today.
So anyway, Brian Kelly.
Don't hold back, Pat. Tell us how you really feel.
So Brian Kelly, 54 mil. Billy Napier, but Billy had it coming. 22 and 23.
Yeah,
you can't be 22 and 23 at Florida
with a couple bad losses in there too.
Yes, but 21 mil for Billy. James Franklin, by the way, who's now rumored to get the head coaching job at Virginia Tech. James Franklin, 49 mil.
Yep. Q's throwing some numbers up there for us too. It says 10 coaches fired, 169 million.
Well, I got
lifestyles of the rich and famous.
I got 149 with Sam Pittman at 9.8 and Mike Gundy who was at Oklahoma State for 21 years.
Yeah, 21 years.
At 15.
They dump him in the middle of the season.
Yeah, but here's the deal.
Yeah, but he's a man. He's 40. He's not a kid.
He's a man.
Oh, I forgot
Yeah,
about
but
that.
they didn't. They didn't say no when all the money was thrown at them, did they?
No.
So the downside of all the money thrown at you is you better have a product on the field. You better win.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Now here's the issue you have around here. And you and I both have seen this up close and personal. We have high school athletic.
I never had a buyout. Did you?
No, we have high school athletic.
I had a buyout,
directors
a Dairy Queen cone.
that see all this.
Get the hell out, Ack.
And so then the high school ADs start acting like they can do the same thing if you don't win, blah, blah, blah. they don't realize how there's no buyout. They just dump you.
Right.
And it's a whole different story for the high school people. So
Well, yeah, no, it is, and you don't have agents. I mean, now some high school coaches have agents. My nephew, who was the offensive coordinator at San Diego State, receivers coach in Michigan, he had an agent, and but we didn't have agents.
Does Joey have an agent at
No,
Goshen?
no,
He should.
No, he's got some guy driving an Amish buggy. He says, I'm your agent. Where you want to go? It's a little cold in the wintertime, Joe, but I'll take you.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned things are starting to hop now too, because the news today was Franklin has supposedly is in the process of finalizing a deal to go to Virginia Tech. So now these other schools are thinking, okay, is it time to make a move? Because recruiting time
100%.
runs 24/7.
100%, man.
We're here's what we were laughing before. We said stop. Ed Ogeron's name's come up again.
I'm gonna punch you for saying that.
You mean Cookie Monster?
Eddie ain't going back to LSU. Eddie ain't going back to LSU.
Never say never, buddy.
I'm saying it. He ain't never going back to LSU. No. He may want to go back to LSU, but they ain't hiring him.
No, I think the way I understood it, they called him.
Yeah, no, they called to ask how he was doing. Eddie, how you doing? Playing golf today? Good.
And you know his response.
I'm doing good, guys. Go Tigers.
You want more cookie?
Scott.
Put more cookies in the budget.
No. And here's what he said.
I'm out here jogging with good old Ray Bacon. I got some of that gumbo down there.
Hey, thanks for the 17 mil. I'm doing fantastic.
Doing fine.
Guys. Hey, so anyway, Scott, why don't you take us out to break here? We're going to have a couple of guests come on. Some great guys, and we'll tell you about them. Stay with us here, folks, and we'll come back. We'll be back in a minute or two.
Looking to get your driver's license? Frick's Driving School in Mishawaka makes it easy with the Indiana State Driving Exam in-house for just $65. No formal driver's education is required. If you're 16 years and 270 days old, which is like 9 months, and have held an Indiana learner's permit for at least 180 days, which is like 6 months, you're eligible. Frick's provides the vehicle. All you need to do is bring a ride to and from the office. The exam only takes about 20 minutes, and you can walk out with your official Indiana driver's license. To schedule, call 574-256-0650 or visit fricksdrivered.com.
Finding private health insurance can be stressful. What if it didn't have to be? I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I prefer to personally meet with my clients so I can get a better understanding of your needs and budget. I can even review your current coverage. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
Hahn Funeral Homes, located at 505 West 8th Street in Mishawaka, continues a proud tradition built on one promise of family serving families. With deep roots in the community, Hahn Funeral Homes offers traditional burial, cremation services, and now pet cremation options, providing compassionate care for every member of the family. Families in Mishawaka have long trusted Hahn's to guide them with dignity, understanding, and personal attention through life's most difficult moments. For more information, visit them online at hahnfuneralhomes.com or call 574-255-1474. Hahn Funeral Homes, a family serving families. Thinking about retirement, Harbor Group Planned Wealth helps you answer the big questions like when to draw Social Security, how to manage investment risk, and what health insurance might cost. Wondering if you can earn part-time income after 62 without losing benefits, or if retiring could actually feel like getting a raise. They've got answers and a plan to guide you. Call the Harbor Group at 765-393-1074 or visit harborgroup.com. That's harborgroup.com. Back with more Coach's Corner with Heck and King. Thanks as always to the Black Sedan Band for the music coming in and out of these breaks. If you're interested in booking them, they do travel. Head on over to blacksedanband.com and give a special shout out to their drummer, who happens to be Heck's brother. And now, here's more Heck and King.
Yeah, so good to be back here. Scott, try Coach Sless at gmail.com again. He said he didn't get the link. Coach Sless at gmail.com. Check that out again and see if you can send that to him. Anyway, Mark Schlesinger will hopefully be with us in a minute here. He's the interim head coach at Indiana State and in basketball, and hopefully we can get Mark lined up here.
Well, while we're waiting on him, we need to talk about the World Series.
Yeah, but I do, but I don't want to start this because this is going to be great conversation.
That's good stuff.
Great conversation. But what I will talk about is Chad Kirk, my ex-player in Richmond High School, now lives in Asheville, North Carolina. He sent me something, and I think he's exactly right. When we were talking about what Shohei Ohtani did from the standpoint of 3 home runs and 10 strikeouts, he sent me something from when Rick Wise pitched for the Philadelphia Phillies, when Rick Wise, a pitcher, hit 2 home runs and threw a no-hitter.
That's impressive.
Now, I can dig that.
Right.
It wasn't a championship game because what we talked about were championship games.
Well,
Right.
you would have to go back to the era before the designated hitter.
Yes, because pitchers were pitching.
Because pitchers could hit.
Yeah.
Pitchers could hit,
and that
exactly.
lasted longer. The National League was the last ones to adopt the DH, if you remember. And was it Q last week mentioned Bob Gibson? Bob Gibson had in one of the World Series when he pitched, he had hit a home run along with
it was
maybe pitched a complete game.
1967. He hit a home run against the Red Sox, I believe, in Game 7 at Fenway Park.
Okay, so that was one of the deals there. So those are some. We were trying to pick up on some of the impressive baseball things, and we're going to talk about baseball here in a little bit. I mean, we're getting ready for Game 6, and like we said a week ago, we were talking about. Like you said, the Dodgers in 6. You said the Dodgers in 5, and I
you know what I said? I said the Cubs in 9.
I'm just going.
I said the Cubs in 9 is what I said.
I'm just going to sit here and watch. Because I didn't know, and we've had a pleasant surprise that Toronto wins 2 out of 3 in LA.
And so why don't we temper this for a minute? Because I don't want to have to come back to it because this is a great story. It's a great story because we have the great Mark Schlesinger on with us now. Schles, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
Man, I'm great, and you're looking great too. And I mean, I'm sure our listeners have remembered the times that you have come on before. Mark used to be the head basketball coach at the University of New Orleans. How long were you at New Orleans?
I was head coach there for 13 seasons, 2011 until whatever it was, 2024. So,
and the head coach there, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yep. Head coach.
Yeah. And then you came back to Indiana because you wanted to help your parents. Your parents lived in Bloomington at the time, and you wanted to be closer to your parents. So you took the associate head coaching position at Indiana State under Matthew Graves, who is the head coach. Now, I got to tell you, and I mean, we all know this, that the good Lord is so powerful and so great, because as you did come back and as you were able to spend more time with your parents, your mother got sick, just passed away, and imagine that time, that year and a half that you got to spend with her. That's priceless, isn't it?
Oh, it's amazing to have that. More importantly, for my kids to have that. And then for my dad to be over here with us. He's actually in the background. Dad, say hello. There's Coach Jack. There's Coach Jack.
Hello, man.
So he's in here out in the office supervising as I'm getting ready to do some film work and keep me in line. And he heard that Coach Heck was going to be on here, so he said he needed to keep you in line, Coach.
Yeah, no, in those days at Edgewood, we had great parental support there. And I was a young coach. And you could tell the stories that I was a little crazy and just I was really motivated, and I wanted to push my guys to be successful, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I was on riding to Hinkle yesterday on the bus, and I was lucky enough to be on with the great JMV there in Indy on the afternoon drive, and the pride of Green Tucky, JMV, actually admitted that he wished he would have played for Coach Heck in the Mustangs. Now, I don't know how Coach Barnheiser will feel about that when that word gets back to him, but just comparatively, our two gyms, why would you ever not want to be in the corral?
Yeah, no, we did some good things because we didn't know any better.
Well, and Barney coached about the same way you did, didn't he?
Yeah, but he was he was closer to the cliff than I was. And Mark will remember this. Barnheiser got in trouble when he was coaching at Cloverdale. The IHSAA had found out that he was having illegal practices during the time of the year that you weren't supposed to have workouts. And he got word just like 30 seconds before the IHSA were going to walk into the gym, and he locked his players in the locker room at Cloverdale.
Yeah. I think he was always.
And the IHSAA is talking to him, and the players are banging on the locker room door. Coach, let us out! Let us out! And Bart gets
trying to challenge everybody to one-on-one full court, and it was great times. It was a great time. Great time to be alive. Great time to live there. And I told them yesterday in that interview, so much of my coaching personality, who I am, is because of you, Coach, and Jay Brown and Nick Hammett, Gary Williams. So we had so many.
How about the great Jeff Birch?
Yeah, Jeff, Coach Birch, Eric Ban.
Yes.
Great Northwest Indiana player, principal, family out there. We just had great people around us all the time.
Yeah, no,
Mike Westfall, VP at Oakland University.
Yeah, can I tell you a story about Mike? And I'm pretty sure you know this story, but
the pride of Winnemac, Indiana.
Yes, he was. But here's a story about Mike Westfall.
Okay,
he was going to IU at the time, and he was one of my volunteer assistants. Owen Valley, and Mark can attest to this, Owen Valley and Edgewood is the biggest rivalry down there. We played Owen Valley on a Saturday night. We also had a Friday night game. And I told Mike, I said, I don't want you going to the Friday night game. I want you going to Owen Valley, scout their game Friday night. Then we're going to meet at 8:00 in the morning on Saturday. You're going to give me a scouting report. And Mike, I got it, Coach. I got it. I won't let you down, Coach. I won't let you down. So, Mark, you'll love this. I'm walking into Edgewood, and it's about, 20 to 8. Nobody's there because I'm just going to meet Mike. Our guys are coming in at 10. About 5 till 8, Mike comes walking in, got the same clothes on he had the night before. Reeks of alcohol, reeks of smoke.
Oh, my gosh.
And has nothing in his hands. And I said, Mike. I just looked at him. I said, Mike. He said, I know what you're going to say, Heck. And I said, what am I going to say? He said, everything's right here. He pointed to his head. He said, I don't got to write anything down. It's right here, Heck. Kind of like wobbling a little bit.
Right.
I'm in my office, in that little office. Remember that office in the locker room?
Yep.
I'm in my office. I fling him down. I'm sitting on his chest, and I'm getting ready just to drill him. And he says, Coach, here's what they run. We get on the grease board. He diagrams it all out. He goes through personnel, and he's not reading it off anything. And maybe that's why Mike Westfall was the associate provost at Washington State University, right, Mark?
Yeah, now he's the vice president of development at Oakland University in Detroit.
Yeah, and maybe Mike was right, but he probably should have had a manila folder as he was walking in, right?
Just to look the part.
No, I know. Well, Dad can attest. He drank half my dad's beer fridge empty about every time he came out of the house. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, there's a method to our madness, and there's a reason. I mean, I never need a reason just to chew the fat with you, Mark, because you're amazing for what you've accomplished in the coaching business, for everything you had to do, to the junior colleges you worked at out in Arizona, to working at Central Michigan for the great sweet Lenny Drake and not making a dime, and to being an ex-head coach at UNO. Now, Matthew Graves has a heart issue, has to have three bypass surgery, right?
Triple bypass?
A triple bypass, right, Mark?
Had triple. Yeah, he froze up. There we go.
yeah,
And
yeah,
and they name you interim coach at Indiana State, right?
He's freezing up on us. There we go.
yeah,
You good?
Yep.
So they name you interim coach at Indiana State because Matthew has a triple bypass, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
How is that going? And my question to you then is, how much autonomy do you actually have over the program now, or is everything you do is it coming from Matthew, or are you designing the practice schedules, or is he telling you what to do?
Well, number one, he kind of a background of the time frame. Yeah, his surgery was a week ago Monday. He found out that he had just some normal chest pain stuff, and went in to get checked up. And our team doctor caught something and said, "You probably need to get this checked out." Went and got that checked out. Went in to get a stent, and they found out he had 100% blockage in one, and then 92 others. So it was a blessing that he got caught. They took him in for surgery Monday. He pulled through great, got to go on Friday. And so it brings us to Monday was the 1 week anniversary. We open up with practice, and he and I got to know, we grew up close to each other. He went to White River Valley, meet Edgewood, and we started working camps together. He's a grade behind me. I was 92 grad. He was 93. And we started working camp at Vincennes. We figured it up. We tried to figure it out. It was 1994. Was our first year we worked summer camp together at Vincennes, and have been friends ever since. And so he's one of those coaching friends I talk to about once a week my whole life, and sometimes more than that. And so we always had a really good relationship and synergy. So to get to the root of your question, we didn't have to a lot of the stuff we were talking about, there was a good synergy. I'm blessed to work with a great staff that has all rallied up and took up some slack. And we have some great processes in place. We have a good system. We have a good culture. So I haven't had to really work outside of my lane or outside of my box. The difference is I have, 800 plus college games under my belt. So I have a pretty good idea of what we need to do on a day-to-day basis. And I don't have an ego about it. I don't need to be a head coach to fulfill any dreams I have. Half of my college career has been a head coach. So I've been able to kind of work, pretty seamlessly in what he's doing. But he trusted and had a pretty good idea that we could do it. So I have been making the practice plans, but I'm working off the framework that we already had in place, and then working with him and talking with him, but trying to be very mindful of what his load and capacity is and really what's important. Coach Mata yesterday before we played, Coach Mata said, please tell Matthew to take his time. He said, take it from a guy who came back far too quick for really no reason. And he said it cost me in the long run. And I thought that was some pretty wise words from Coach Mata. And so I was at his house yesterday morning for about an hour before we got ready to head to Indianapolis. And we talked last night after the game for about 40 minutes. And I'll go over, us and our staff will go over and meet with him tomorrow morning, I think, just to catch him up. He wants to hear what's going on. He wants to hear what's happening with the team. He wants to find out who's playing good, not playing good. He will have watched the game, the Butler game, by the time we get there. So he'll have some input and some of that. And I welcome it. He's got an incredibly gifted offensive eye, and anything that he can add to make me better, make us better, boy, I'm all ears. Well,
and I know that you were there, as was Pat, but I mean, Coach Graves did me a tremendous favor, and Kenny, you weren't there, but he did me something. He did me something so solid that I can never thank him, because Coach Graves, when we were inducted to the Hall of Fame, he went before me.
Okay.
And the Hall of Fame, they send you this information. They say you got 3 minutes to give a speech. What, like me giving a speech in 3 minutes?
3 minutes, yeah.
Are you kidding me? So Matthew Graves gets up and he says,
Coach, you know where this is going, don't you?
he says,
Yes, sir.
he says, I got the money. He said, I got the memo. I know I'm supposed to only talk for 3 minutes. And he goes and he gives a great talk, gives a great speech. So I'm next. So all I got to do is say, what memo? I never got a memo. Who sent memo? They never sent me a memo. So I proceeded to go for 11 minutes and 54 seconds, only because of what Coach Graves has said. Because I had a speech. I had a speech all typed.
Owe me. He said your boy's going to owe me.
No, and I do. I swear to you, I do, because I did have a speech all typed out and ready to read. And I could never get it to 3 minutes. It was probably at about 5. But once he said that, I said, forget the written speech. I'm talking from the heart. And I actually had a blast and had a fun time up there. But I think Matthew Graves is just a great. Not only is he a great basketball coach, I think he's a great person, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He's as kind and fair a person as you'll ever be around. And if you know his mom and dad, just in their family and what they mean to Greene County, and then his brothers, it's easy to see. He had great people. All of them were great players and successful in what they're doing in their lives. And so I'm lucky to work not only for an incredible basketball mind, but a great human being and a good friend.
How long is he out for?
He had his doctor's appointment today. Everything went good on that with the checkups. We'll get a better feel tomorrow. But, the general timeline when we met before he went in for the procedure was 6 to 12 weeks. So it just depends on how quickly you respond. Obviously, he's a younger man at almost 51. His birthday's on the 9th of November, so it'll be 51 then. But, it varies based on health and all that stuff, a little bit different for each person.
Yeah, and I know, and that's great advice that Thad Mata gave him to take his time. And I know when I had my liver transplant August 31st, and I was back for the first practice. Our first game was against Doug Mitchell, and there absolutely is no way that I should have done that. I realistically now know that I should have sat the whole year out because just the fatigue, just the healing process, and we played Doug Mitchell's North Central team in the first game of the season.
Wow!
And I had taken I had a T tube inserted in my liver to let the bile drain out, and the week of that game. They had to go in and surgically remove the tube and then stitch it up and everything. And so I'm coaching in the game, and I don't know, it's like the first quarter. Mitchell calls a timeout, comes running over to me. He says, "Heck, you got to stop." And I said, "What do you mean I got to stop? We're up 2. I ain't stopping. Come on, man." He said, "You got to stop." I said, "Why?" He said, "You're bleeding.
You're leaking."
I looked down on because I had a light colored sweater. I had blood coming out where the stitches were. And obviously I popped a couple stitches, and I said, "Mitch," I said, "it's only blood." I said, "We go down 10. I'll stop, okay? but we keep this game within 10. I'm coaching him up, man. And Doug Mitchell, Mark, he was the absolute best. He was tough. He was tough on officials, but his guys played so freaking hard, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And just a wonderful person. Class act.
Yeah, so one of our guys, actually 3 of our guys, and you know where I'm going with this, 3 of our guys worked your scrimmage the other day in Terre Haute. 3 officials, right?
Yeah.
Lance Ringler, Brandon Chambers, and who's the other one?
Jeremy Swafford.
Yeah, Jeremy Swafford. How did that go?
It was great, to think about me being able to call those guys in and them come over and do that. Like, just what a cool moment. Just you get some cool moments in your coaching life, but just three guys you grew up with your whole life that have been around and they've supported me, followed me throughout my career. And then for them to be able to come over, drive over, referee our inter-squad, our practice. Jeremy's a college official. Lance is and Brandon, they all ref high school, but Jeremy refs in college too. Jeremy ran cross country at West Virginia. Brandon's an ISU grad, and Lance, amongst many other things, he's the amateur golf rating guru of the world. Literal fact, and writes for Golf Week. And so just a cool time for us to practice and go have some wings and shoot the shit a little bit and talk hoops.
Yeah, and I mean, for people who don't know, Lance and the other two guys, I mean, you guys went to Edgewood. So on a major college floor, and there he is. There's our boy. On a major college floor, we got 4 Edgewood slaps on a Division I floor.
We had
5. Dave Peterson came in and watched practice.
Oh man, we got 5 Edgewood slaps.
Don't forget Huntlocker.
Huntlocker. Caden Huntlocker's on the team. He's one of my players. We had you know what we had, Coach? We had a corral.
You did the running Mustangs. All right, Lance. So answer this question for me, Lance. Did Sless have to bust you up a little bit because you missed some calls or something?
No, Sless was good. He's way better than you ever were.
No, and where he's coming with that is Lance has had to ref my game. I mean, Lance has refed a couple games here at Mishawaka, right?
Oh, Joel. Yeah. Well, can I tell a quick story about that game? My favorite one.
You got the floor, man.
All right. So here's the story. So you're playing Concord, and halftime, come back out, and you look at me, and you guys are up 10. And you motion me over, and I'm kind of cautious, and I kind of walk over a little bit, and you say, Lance, you got to help us out, man. I go, Coach, you're up 10. I go, don't worry about it. I go, just coach the game. So it's all good and dandy. So about a minute or two into the third quarter, I call a foul on one of your guys for going over the back or on the back on a rebound, and you're not happy with the call. And as I'm walking to report, you're mirroring me. And as I report and tell you the foul is on, I turn back around to go get the ball to inbound it on the inline, and you say, Lance, great call. That's a great call. Now call it down there. Never forget that. So
it didn't matter, did it? It didn't matter because and Mark will tell you this too. On the court, business is business, right, Sless?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
That's how I feed my family.
Yeah, no, business is business, and I think Lance,
how I feed my family. It's how I keep the lights on.
That's right. You're 100% right. And Lance, you have done a great job of making yourself a great official of working games all over the state of Indiana, right?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, weren't you on a crew with somebody that has worked in every gym in the state of Indiana?
Yeah, that'd be Casey Gaynor, one of my partners.
Yes.
He's about 25 years or 30 years, and he's worked every gym in the state. And I've tagged along the last, 6-7 years and gotten to a lot of those gyms. And it's a great experience, a lot of fun.
May I ask, have you been to the Tiger Den in La Crosse?
I have not been to that one, no.
Oh, you got to go, man. Pat's been experienced there. I'm a LaPorte County guy, so I've been there many, many times. It's a great place for basketball.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question, Lance. When the Wigwam was open, were you reffing then?
No, I didn't. I wasn't living in Indiana at that time. I moved away when you were there coaching, but I did get to a game there one time. You guys were playing Noblesville when Tom Coverdale played, so I did see a game in the Wigwam, but never got the chance to officiate in there.
Oh, that would have been classic. Mark, what's the best college environment you've ever coached in?
If I was probably saying top 5. I mean, obviously, growing up in Bloomington, being able to be the head coach, and Lance's son was our ball boy that game. To be able to be the head coach from Edgewood and Ellisville to come back and coach at IU is right up there. Mackey's great. All the Big Ten schools. I've coached at Mackey, Michigan State. I like Minnesota. The Barn is great.
The Barn, yes.
As far as just atmospheres, just electric atmospheres. We in 2006, we had a really good team when I was assistant at Northwestern State. We upset Iowa in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And that year, we beat Oklahoma State on the road with Coach Sutton. And it was the year after their Final Four run. They had 2-3 NBA players, Tony Allen, a couple other guys.
Wow.
Gallagher was electric. The Pit was great. And then Utah State. That year we played Stu Morrill in Utah State, and they were an NCAA tournament team, and we lost a buzzer beater on the end. And the Spectrum is what is the name of the place. The Spectrum is probably, top 4 or 5, just as far as electric atmospheres, where the crowd is engaged on top of you. This year we go to Duke. I'll be curious to see how that is, coaching there. But all those are fantastic.
So I was at your IU game, your IU UNO game, and tell this story because Tom Crean talked a little smack to you on the sidelines, didn't he?
So Coach Crean, who I like, I've always gotten along with. He had a propensity for clapping. He liked to clap a good bit, and so we didn't get probably the easiest whistle, and we finally got an and one in the second half. And I high-fived. I was at the end of the bench on the base, and I high-fived one of our walk-ons and clapped and just kind of went like, yeah, finally. And I'm walking back up towards the front of the bench, and he's at half court giving me the stare down, like pulling his pants up. And he looks at me and he points at me and he says, "Coach your team." And I looked at Mr. Holmes, our longtime athletic director. I had him sitting on the bench with me. And I looked at him and I said, "Is he talking to me?" Mr. Holmes had his legs crossed and his arms crossed, and he said, "Sless, I believe he is." And so then I take off to him and I said, "You effing talking to me?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm talking to you." And I said, "Shut the F up. You worry about you." And I walked right past Jeff Harrington's dad, Mr. Carl, and Brad's dad, who are working the table. And they're just like, "Oh boy, what's about to happen?" And Assembly Hall is funny because the acoustics are so special in there. And when it gets quiet, everybody can hear everything that's said on the court. And it just got deadly quiet at that time. And so then, I had classmates that were sitting up halfway up. And they're calling me after repeating what I said word for word. I was so embarrassed. But the referee got between us. And, in the post-game interview, immediately that was the first question. And I deflected and just said, it's just two guys being competitive, whatever. But, but it was funny. I don't think he thought I was fixing to come after him at all. I don't think he had that on his bingo card that day.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you're coaching your brains out. You're home. You're coaching your brains out.
Well, and anytime you're in those games, Coach, when you're getting paid to come in there, if you can take a 25, people don't understand this. When you play as many of those games a year as I played, if you can take a 25-point game down to an 18-point game and finish with 18 points, well, that's a heck of a lot better for your team in the long run. Sure. So he ended up. He burned a timeout at the end, ran a lob play, because he was pissed. Well, then I called a timeout after my basket. So it was a little bit of, a little bit of a comedy show. But it was. That's part of it. But you got to coach your brains out every single time. If I could have burnt timeouts last night at Hinkle, I would have. If I thought I could have got it closer.
So, Coach, I got to ask you. You guys are playing Duke, obviously here coming up. When you have games like this, is it something where they reach out to you to fill the game, or how does all of that work to where you have the opportunity to play somebody like a Duke or a Power 5 conference school, Power 4 school? What's the logistics behind how that all works out?
It's money, man. Come on.
Right.
You're going to go to Duke. You're going to make some money. You're going to get a payday.
Yeah,
and you're going to beat Duke, right?
That's the whole plan. I don't know why you'd show up and play if you weren't planning on it. But every school's a little bit different. We play one of those games a year. Partially, financial is one piece of it. Second is, our net requirements that we have to do within the Missouri Valley Conference. So that qualifies. It's one of those games. I think just profile of, going and putting your guys in that kind of environment to help prep.
So I know Lance will remember this. My first game at coaching at Edgewood, we played J.R. Holmes, and we played at Bloomington South. And J.R., Lance, and Lance, that team they had with Chris Lawson and Marty Collier, and just a really, really good team. And it's my first game at Edgewood, and I got these grand illusions, man. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and we get beat by probably 35, and with J.R. Holmes, had his starters in the last 40 seconds. I looked down at the bench. I say, and I shouldn't have done it, man. I know I shouldn't have done it. But I say, JR, how about pulling your starters out? He looks at me and he says, hey, heck, welcome to the big time. Real loud. And everybody in the gym heard it. Heck, welcome to the big time. Okay. All right. I'm going to keep my mouth shut because I'm a young dude. He's kind of old. I could have pounded him if I wanted to and been suspended for 10 years, but I didn't. The following year, then, Lance, we play Bloomington South at the Wood. That's the famous game where Tom Tilley tried to wear some those glasses with the straps on them. Tom's playing against Chris Lawson, and I think Bloomington South is ranked number 1 in the state. Blackwell and those guys are juniors. You're, I think, a senior. And I'm not sure if you played that year or not. But with 20 seconds left in the game, we got a 12-point lead against Bloomington South. Of course, I had to do it, right?
Exactly. Yep.
I looked down. I said, JR, what were you saying about the big time? And he just puts his head in his hands and just kind of pouts a little bit. But what goes around
comes around.
And my dad always told me that. My dad always said, don't ever run up the score on anybody because what goes around comes around. And my dad was 100% right. Do you remember those games, Lance?
Oh, yeah. I just watched the game on YouTube a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
The South Edgewood game, opening 3-7-87. Oh, yeah.
Was that the game at Bloomington or at Edgewood?
No, that was the game at Edgewood. Yeah.
So obviously you saw Tom Tilley. We made Tom Tilley wear these goggles because he couldn't.
Off through him.
Tom Tilley couldn't catch a cold, much less catch a basketball. And we finally sent him to the eye doctor, and he couldn't see. He needed glasses. So we got him these goggles with straps on them and stuff, and said, Tom, you're wearing. He said, Coach, I can't wear it. He said, Tom, you're wearing them. You can't see. About midway through the first quarter, he takes an elbow from Chris Lawson, knocks the glasses sideways on his face. Tom fires the glasses out to the bench and says, Coach, I ain't wearing them. I said, okay, Tom. Catch a pass. If you ain't going to wear them, catch a pass. Classic, right?
Yes, very much so. Yeah, we all talk about that game still.
Yeah. So talk about your career now. You never wanted to pursue the college game?
At times, yeah, of course, because financially, the college game being official is quite rewarding nowadays. But it's a different deal now. If I would have gotten into it back in like 2000, would have been a lot different. But nowadays, it's so different. The scrutiny those guys are under, and guys are getting advanced way too fast nowadays. I had a longtime official tell me one time it took 8 to 10 years before you really even kind of understood what you were watching on a basketball floor. And there's guys now working high level D1, maybe 4, 5, 6 years under their belt. So it's a different deal nowadays. And I'm perfectly happy staying in those high school gyms all around the state on Friday and Saturday night.
All right, so answer this question because I want to have Mark answer this question too. Can either one of you two guys tell me what a travel is nowadays? Can anybody describe or give me a definition of what traveling is? I worked a college game last night. I worked Holy Cross against a team from Chicago. In my mind, I saw 17 travels. None were called. What's a freaking travel, Lance?
So technically, by rule, you can't pick up your pivot foot. You can't put it back. You can't pick it up and then put it back down. But here's the problem with the travel. I could sit there, we could watch a game right now, and every play, there's probably a travel on each end of the floor every time down. Footwork is terrible. Coach, we used to spend, 25 minutes of practice working on footwork, coming off screens, left foot down, ball in the air, feet in the air, all that type of stuff. Nowadays, people are so lazy and the footwork is not taught. And so you just get away with it. I mean, you're going around right now with the Giannis move, where they say, he took 6-7 steps on that. Yeah. The bottom line is this is what people will tell you, the officials and the assigners and the observers, is the game's so fast. And if you can't definitively see it 100%, we're not going to call it. So, it's just the way it is. Every Euro step is probably a travel. Every spin move is probably a travel. Every step back is probably a travel. But it's done so quickly that you're just not going to call it very often, and you kind of let them get away with it. And so it's the way the game's evolved, and it's tough. It's really tough.
There was one last night in my game where we were down 10, about to cut it to 7 on a breakaway dunk, and somehow they very clearly, definitively saw it as a break travel when it was a dunk and one. Very clearly, they saw that one.
Yeah,
they didn't see any of the other ones on Butler, but they very clearly saw.
I mean, I just don't. I think by the way that it's. I mean, the rule is nowadays they just don't call it right.
They talk about the gather and all this stuff, and I'm thinking, stop it. Heck and I were over at Notre Dame 2 days ago watching practice, and we were just some of the drills they were running where they were advancing the ball up the floor and the wingmen running to the corners, preparing to shoot. They're not prepared to shoot, so they catch it, and then they took one step, then they took 2 more into the hop to get themselves set for the ball. They're not. You're exactly right. Their footwork is awful.
Terrible. Well, Coach used to have us when we ran the sideline getting wide. Once you got to a certain point, you'd open up your shoulders, open up to the ball,
turn your hips.
Your proper foot was on the ground. They don't do that anymore. They catch it with their backside to the ball, and then they go ahead and take their steps, and they just don't call it. I mean, what drives me crazy is when I watch Sports Center and you see the play of the day, and it's a game-winning shot, but it was a travel. Travel, the play of the day.
Do you still teach a lot of footwork, Mark?
Yeah. I mean, I did a ton at New Orleans. I mean, we still do what I call dribble pivot pass, just where we dribble out, jump stop at the free throw line. Lance saw me do it the other day, reverse pivot or front pivot, throw it. Next guy dribbles it out. We probably do that 4 times a week still.
Interesting.
And the other issue is too that the NBA has a different rule on travel. Like you mentioned, they have a gather step, and that gets brought down. What we're starting to see is everything funnels its way down from college to high school. And when the rules aren't consistent, you get the high school kids doing what they see on TV, and it's just it makes it tough. But yeah, that gather step is a completely different deal, and it probably should be at all levels. But that's why, because they're getting away with it in high school and college.
So I got to ask, as an official, how much grief will you take from an assistant coach?
So one of the things I was taught to become a good official is you got to be able to communicate, and I feel like communicating with an assistant coach who's not doing anything really wrong is fine. A lot of guys are like, I ain't talking to assistant coaches. I'm not really.
I ain't talking to him.
I'll talk to guys as long as they're, the communication's good. So I'm a little different in that standpoint.
Sure.
All right. So I don't even call the Euro step anymore. I call it the Polish hop. That's what I call it, the Polish hop, man. So answer this question. And be careful how you answer it, because there's a lot of viewers watching this. How was it reffing my game?
Reffing your game?
Yeah.
It was fine. I didn't have any problems with it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I didn't know what to expect coming in because remember, you didn't know I was even coming. You forgot.
Yeah.
And no, it was good. It was good. I will tell you something that the Concord coach, I think he's retired. I had him last year at Concord. And I think he might have stepped down last year.
Was it Derek Deshaun? It wasn't Derek Deshaun.
Yeah,
Was it?
yes, it was.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he didn't know I played for you and whatever. And I was standing by him one time, and you're kind of going off on, I think, Casey or Tony. You were not really going off, but you were probably talking a little bit more than you needed to. And he looks at me and he goes, I know he's in, he's coached the McDonald's game and he's a legend, but how much are you going to let Heck get away with tonight? And I turned to him, I said, Coach, you can say what you want tonight too. He didn't know I played for you, so it probably, it was a good thing at the time, but yeah, it was kind of funny.
Depending on what year it was, I had sat on the bench with him at Mishawaka for 3 years. I was the one doing this, trying to get him.
I think
back.
you might have been there. Yeah.
And the referees would look at me and say, will you do something about that? And I'd go, I'm doing all I can. I'd sit there and go, Heck, come here. Like that. Because he'd be down at the baseline. Hey, Mark, I've got a question for you real quick. Because Heck and I were talking about this the other day when we were over at Notre Dame. How much time do you have per week now that the season has started with the players? Is there a number that supposedly you have where you can practice? Because I was asking about individual workouts because we saw some things at their practice that we thought should have been taken care of, like during their individual workout, during the day. And he said, once the season starts, this is it. They're very limited. What are some of the numbers?
You get 20 hours a week is what the official term is. In the off season, it's 8. So that 20 hours is, technically includes practice, weights, film, any specific basketball specific meetings, stuff like that. You fit all that within the 20 hours. And in probably Coach Shrewsbury's world, in that 20 hours with guys that are making a heck of a lot more money than most everybody else at that school.
Yeah, good point. And I guess the other question, and you still have to give them a day off, don't you?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I mean, it's not 7 days. You've got to pick a day where you they say you got to stay out of the gym up to, 1 day or whatever it is.
Yeah, they can come in for voluntary stuff. So like we were off today, but we had probably, of our 15 guys, I bet I saw 9 of them through the gym or the office today. Either coming in to watch film on their own, to go in and shoot, to see the athletic trainer, or to get in and get a lift in, an extra lift, or to get in and shoot.
But if one of the coaches goes out there with them on the floor, then that counts as part of their 20.
Correct. No, yeah.
Hours. Okay, so it'd be no coaches.
Yeah, they can go out there. They can go out there and like a student manager, somebody can rebound for them.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah. Quote student manager, right? Quote student manager.
I'm too old and fat to pass for that.
Yeah. Get the shoot away out or the toss back or whatever it is. Yeah.
Hey, we would never have made that 20-hour limit, would we, Lance?
My God, no. What we did was insane in the 80s. I have the practice book that you
find
one. And 233 school is out. I think 240 were on the floor. And the last time, like 3-4 pages over, it said like 7 o'clock weights. Or so, I'm like, what are you doing, man? We've 4 hours a day, high school kids.
That's in January, in the middle of the season.
Yeah, I know.
Coach, I want to ask you a question you mentioned about your managers. They're kind of the unsung heroes of the program because they do a lot of things behind the scenes that people don't know about. And talk about how important the role of a manager is in the overall scheme of a basketball program.
They're so invaluable, and we've got such a special group. I think they're the backbone of what you do. They're kind of the heartbeat and the lifeblood. We got 7 of them. One of them from right up in your guys' neck of the wood, Damian Delgado. His dad's the head coach at Lowell High School.
Yes.
Just a great man. Him and his sister both go to ISU. And Damian's about to do his student teaching, is going to be a fantastic teacher and wants to coach as well. So we've really got a good group of guys. We got a kid from Marion High School who was Coach Blackman's head manager before he came to us. We got one from Zionsville. We got one from Mitchell, one from Monrovia, one from Marshall, Illinois. So we got guys we've been really lucky to have some really good high school coaches reference kids for us to be a part of what we're doing.
Now, do they get financial aid? Do they get any kind of scholarship for this?
Not normally. Sometimes every now and then they'll be able to get some sort of books or different things like that. They'll travel. Generally, our head manager will travel, and then they'll kind of rotate spots on the other one. 2 of the guys get to go. 3 of the guys are going to Duke, and we just found out today there's a good chance that we're going to be able to fly. The AD's going to let us fly the other 2 that are multiple year managers, commercial. Not on the charter plane, but fly them commercial, meet us for the Duke game. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Hey guys, listen, I got to jump on to another topic here, but I can't tell you how proud I am of you guys. Just that little sliver of time out of my life, those 3 years at Edgewood, the relationships that we made. Now probably Jeff Harrington's watching this tonight, right, Lance?
If not, he'll listen to it later, I'm sure.
Yeah, but just all of the things that we did, the closeness that we had, and what it's the perfect example of what kids can get out of athletics.
Right.
And I'm really so proud of all you guys that have taken that mark. You're in the footsteps, Lance. You've stayed close to the game forever and ever and ever. And you guys just mean everything to me. So I want to thank you for taking a few minutes out of your night and to spend with us. I know, Mark, you're watching film, you're breaking stuff down. Keep busting it, man. Lance,
yep.
I know you're in Arizona maybe or something with Golf Week, right?
Florida.
Yeah, you're in Florida for Golf Week and putting some tournaments on. So you guys be cool. Thank you so much for everything.
Hey,
and
Lance.
Yeah.
Is tomorrow Halloween, Coach?
Tomorrow,
Yes.
I don't even know, man.
Is this your Tom Anderson costume you're wearing tonight with the all black?
No, I can't believe you brought that name up, because if you guys remember at the sectional when Tom Anderson and I got into it, and Tom Anderson was talking some stuff to me walking off the floor, and I don't know, man. It's before I had my transplant. I thought I was this real tough guy, and I said, Tom, if you want to go right here in the middle of Martinsville's gym, I said, we can go right here. I don't care, Tom. And he gives me this. He brushes it off and walks by. But that's kind of how it was back then.
Be quick, but don't hurry, Coach. Be quick, but don't hurry.
Huh?
Be quick, but don't hurry.
No, exactly. Somebody grab me before we actually do start to fight, okay? Oh, no, and I think the guy that instigated that was Torrey Hancock, actually. Torrey kind of got into it with a couple of their dudes, and God, basketball was so cool, and coaching basketball for 40 years, forever and ever and ever, was so cool for me. And I know you guys are still close to it. Pat did the same thing, and Kenny's been around it his whole life. So stay with it, guys. Yep. Please give my regards to anybody you see, and you guys are the absolute best. Thank you so much.
Hey, Coach, real quick, same thing on my part. I thank you for everything. Those 2 years, it was only 2 years, a real small part of our life, but you really shaped me and helped me get to where I am and playing for you. And I know Mark didn't actually play for you, but I'm sure you felt it as well, Mark. What Coach Linsky brought to Edgewood was very, very special for us.
Absolutely shaped my whole career.
Hey, keep taking care of Sweet Lou, all right, Sluss?
You got it. Daddy.
Nice.
See you guys.
See you, boys. Be cool. Scott, why don't you take us to break? We're going to come back, and we are going to talk your favorite subject tonight, baseball.
World Series.
We're going to talk baseball. Thanks.
Thinking about retirement? Harbor Group Planned Wealth helps you answer the big questions like when to draw Social Security, how to manage investment risk, and what health insurance might cost. Wondering if you can earn part-time income after 62 without losing benefits, or if retiring could actually feel like getting a raise. They've got answers and a plan to guide you. Call the Harbor Group at 765-393-1074 or visit harborgroup.com. That's harborgroup.com. Han Funeral Homes, located at 505 West 8th Street in Mishawaka, continues a proud tradition built on one promise of family serving families. With deep roots in the community, Han Funeral Homes offers traditional burial, cremation services, and now pet cremation options, providing compassionate care for every member of the family. Families in Mishawaka have long trusted Hans to guide them with dignity, understanding, and personal attention through life's most difficult moments. For more information, visit them online at hanfuneralhomes.com or call 574-255-1474. Han Funeral Homes, a family serving families.
Medicare plans can be confusing, but they don't have to be. I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I can help you compare your options because I'm appointed with many nationally recognized carriers. With my help, you can find the coverage that fits your needs and budget. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
Looking to hit the road with confidence, Frick's Driving School in Mishawaka has been helping drivers of all ages gain the skills they need for a lifetime of safe driving. With experienced, patient instructors, including our very own Pat King, and flexible scheduling options, Frick's makes learning to drive easy and stress-free. Whether you're a first-time driver or need a refresher like our own Ron Heklinski, Frick's has you covered. Plus, for just $65, they offer the state driving exam in-house. No need to go anywhere else. Visit fricksdrivered.com where you can call 574-256-0650 to get started today. Back again with more Coach's Corner. Shout out, as always, to the Black Sedan Band, now in their... Well, they've been with us since the start. We'll just say that. They do travel, so if you're interested in booking a great cover band, go to blacksedanband.com, or you can check them out on YouTube after you're done watching us, of course. Now here's more Heck and King.
Yeah, the Black Sedan Band is really cool. And I'll tell you what else is really cool, and Pat knows this too, is our opportunity to come and do this show from Corby's. Joe Mitica, Gary, who runs the place for Joe, they've been so hospitable to us. And we actually feel like we're wanted here, don't we?
Yeah, well, it's been fun. We really enjoy it. And they've got us on the speakers. We got people listening to us. They've got the banner here in the background that they made for us. We didn't have to go out and find that. And it just seems like every night we come in there, they're here to greet us. And the pizzas are pretty good too.
Oh, the pizzas are amazing. The atmosphere here at Corby's is amazing. If you're a Notre Dame person,
and what's interesting, it's kind of quiet right now. But like they said, they're open late. They're open till 2 or 3 in the morning because Thursday nights is for these Notre Dame kids. A lot of it. This is weekend. This is the start of the weekend.
Yeah, no. At 9 o'clock, this place will start picking up. But on a weekend of a Notre Dame home game, this place would be packed in here tonight.
Well, remember the UCLA, the Southern Cal weekend. There were people in here on Thursday night right now watching baseball. And I mean, it was crowded.
Yeah, it was. It was the atmosphere was great. So if you're out and about and you haven't been in and seen the remodeling job that Joe Mitica and his crew did here at Corby's, stop in. It's literally amazing, and get yourself a great pizza and enjoy the atmosphere of Corby's Irish Pub.
Well, and I'm sure here with the holidays coming up and people planning their Christmas parties. They've got the room upstairs. They've got the back room. Corby's is now an option for people that be more so than it ever was, as far as maybe having your holiday parties here. As we get closer to Christmas time.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Major League Baseball, man. So everybody, including me, and it could still happen, but everybody thought that the Dodgers would buy a World Series.
Yep.
Yeah.
With the pitching staff, with everybody they got.
And they have. They're pretty good. The problem is Toronto's
A little bit better.
They're on a hot streak right now. Let's face it. I was reading some stuff today. It was talking about why is Mookie Betts so bad this week? I mean, literally, that was the topic. And they just said, Mookie Betts is in a slump right now for the Dodgers. Bad time to be in a slump.
Well, and anybody will tell you good pitching will always beat good hitting.
And that's where we are right now. And both teams, I mean, it's just amazing. How about that 18-inning game last week? Wasn't that amazing? I mean, that was the start of everything. I went to bed around 10:30, and it was the 6th, 7th inning.
Right.
And it was 5-5. Well, I wake up at 2 a.m. to go to the bathroom and check. So I get on there and check to see who won the ball game, right? It's still going.
I know.
Yeah.
It was a 16th inning, so I hit the little on the ESPN. I hit the thing that said, "Listen." I'm sitting there, and he's sitting there talking. Here we are, the top of the 16th, and I'm going, "Gee whiz."
And you wonder, you talk about pitching, how much of that game did it take out of the Dodgers? Because they haven't really recovered since.
No, and Shohei batted 9 times.
9 times.
And usually a pitcher who's going to pitch the next game will go maybe back to the hotel early, get a good night's sleep.
Right.
But the Dodgers needed every bit of Shohei to win that game. And then he comes out the next game and is pitching and it just doesn't look sharp.
No.
But and here's another thing to consider, I think, that in Major League Baseball now, there's no more 18-inning games because every extra inning game starts with a ghost runner at second base.
Correct. Second base.
Second base. And those games may go 10, 11, 12 innings, but there's certainly never any length of games that you saw.
Well, in that game, he was a DH. He was 4 for 4. He batted 9 times. They walked him 5 times.
Yeah.
They walked him 5 times. He had, 2 home runs. 2 of his 4 hits were home runs. He had 5 bases on balls. He had 3 RBIs. Mookie Betts was 1 for 8.
Yeah, and when you look at
And Freeman was 2 of 7, but one of them was a home run in the 18th inning.
That won the game, yeah.
So tell me, am I right when I see this? I could be in left field. Who knows? Does Freddie Freeman got the biggest front teeth you ever seen? I'm just axing. I'm axing.
Those are some big ones.
Those are some fence planks.
You see him every time Toronto hits a single, you see him because he's sitting there talking because they show the guy at first base. There's Freddie Freeman sitting there talking to the guy.
He's a great player.
But I was looking, Toronto puts out 9 pitchers. Think about what that game did to the bullpens.
Oh my gosh!
And the Dodgers threw 10 pitchers in one game.
And Dave Roberts almost went to a player to pitch, and then if it had gone to the 19th or the 20th,
it was about time to get the shortstop to pitch.
Yeah, but the fact that they won that game, they used up a lot of bullpen capital. Shohei obviously is amazing, but he's and when you talk about amazing, are you talking about guys that hit 300, or you talk about guys that might hit 240 and just bombs left and right? And when they don't hit a bomb, their batting average is not very good.
Well, let's throw something out there. They won that game, but did that game cost them?
Did they lose the series because of that game?
Did they lose that game because they might have expended so much? Because as you said, Ohtani pitched the next night
and didn't have much,
and pitched 6 innings. He pitched 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, 6 hits, which, and led off. He was a leadoff batter, but he's 0 for 3.
Yeah.
So he had to pitch. He had a walk. He struck out twice. Guerrero hit a home run in the 3rd. And, he's behind. He took the loss in the game.
Yeah, Vlad Guerrero. I mean, if the series ended tomorrow, there would be no question that Vladimir Guerrero would be the MVP.
Well, how about last night? Snell's on the mound. He pitched game 1.
Great pitcher, by the way.
Turns around and pitches game 5. First pitch of the game. It's out. They hit a home run. Snyder hits a home run. He was imitating himself, he said, in minors. He changes his batting stance just to keep himself, to entertain himself. And then they're still doing high fives and putting their jacket, the home run jacket on in the dugout. And Guerrero gets up 2 pitches later. He puts one in the bleachers too.
Gone day.
So Snell throws 3 pitches and he's behind 2-0 with 2 home runs in the first inning.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the start they had.
I mean, would you guys allow me to tell you a little story for 30 seconds? I won't do it if you won't allow me.
What's the over under on this one?
No, if you won't allow me. But Rick Sutcliffe pitched for the Cubs. You remember Rick Sutcliffe?
Absolutely. Could hit the ball too.
Rick Sutcliffe was a nasty pitcher. When he got on the mound, his whole demeanor changed, and the pitching coach for the Cubs at that time was a guy named Billy Connors.
Yes.
And Rick Sutcliffe was pitching in Cincinnati. He didn't have much. He was awful. First batter gets up, for the Reds and hits a home run. And when you hit a home run in Cincinnati, they shoot the cannons off.
Yeah, the fireworks.
Yeah, so they shoot the cannons off. Rick Sutcliffe.
I've heard it. Go ahead.
Rick Sutcliffe is pitching to the next batter now. Throws.
He loads up another one.
He throws his next pitch. He throws another pitch. The next hitter hits another home run. Boom! The cannons go off again. And so Billy Connors, the pitching coach, comes out of the dugout. He gets to the mound, and Rick Sutcliffe is telling him, "You don't need to say a word to me, Billy. I know I'm horse crap. I got nothing tonight. I'm the worst pitcher in America." And Billy Connors goes, "Stop, Rick, stop." He says, "I got nothing to say to you. I'm giving the guy time to reload the cannon in center field because the next hitter's getting ready to go deep too."
And you're not coming out. Oh, Lord.
So no, I think baseball stories are some of the best ever.
They're fun.
Oh gosh.
You just don't know what they're saying when they go to the mound.
No, exactly. Hey, where are we going to meet for dinner tonight?
Exactly.
Or what they're saying to the umpires.
Yeah.
They're kicking dust. They're screaming. They could be saying, "Where are you going to dinner tonight?"
Exactly. We got to make this look good. Don't kick me out. I got to come out here so it looks good.
Mike Maddox, a lot of time for the Rangers. The Rangers pitching coach when he'd come out for a mound visit, he'd just be like, "Hey, how's it going? Doing okay? How's your wife? How's your kids?"
That's Mike Maddox, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just to kind of
always
break the tension.
And would always put a hand on the pitcher's shoulder. Always, and they always talked about that.
Well,
so when's the next game?
Toronto's up 3-2.
This is next game tomorrow.
Today's a travel day. And game 6
is tomorrow.
Is tomorrow night.
Tomorrow at 7.
Game 7, if necessary, will be Saturday.
Wow.
So
the season.
Who knows? So your game 2 pitchers, Yamamoto and Gosman, are pitching game 6 tomorrow night.
Those are
in Toronto.
Those are two. Gosman is a really great pitcher. Yamamoto is too. You just wonder how much they have left, and you wonder how or what kind of shape the bullpens are in, because in this elimination game for the Dodgers, you wonder how Dave Roberts is, if he's going to he's going to have a quick hook. Is Yamamoto going to be able to go 4 or 5, or is he going to?
He's got to go at least 5.
Well, if he goes 2 and gets in a little bit of trouble,
what do you do?
And the bullpen, all hands on deck, right?
And since Ohtani would pitch game 8, which doesn't exist, so he's already said he is now he's a bullpen pitcher.
All hands on deck.
Exactly. Yeah. He's a bullpen.
It's like what Bochy did with the Giants several years ago when Madison Bumgarner seemed to pitch every game in that World Series.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yep.
So, it's what Joe Madden did when Aroldis Chapman's arm fell off in Game 7.
Now
did.
Aroldis Chapman, Texas Rangers World Series champion.
If I'm right or wrong. The reason Toronto gets the 4 games
because they have a better record.
Is it because of that? Now, previous years it was because
All-Star
whoever won
game.
the All-Star game. They're not doing that
anymore.
No, it's all seeded by records.
But Toronto had the same record that the Yankees did.
Yeah.
Unless it rotates by league, by who gets to host like it used to.
So anyway,
and if anybody ever tries to tell you that the regular season doesn't matter anymore, the Blue Jays were 94-68. The Dodgers were 93-69.
There you go. That one game. Home game, home field advantage. Yeah. Hey, so baseball's cool. It's going to be over. High school football. We're going into round 2 of sectional play. You're going to Muncie Central, right?
I got a road trip to go tomorrow. Yep.
Logansport of Muncie Central.
We're doing 4A. We're doing the 4A. Logansport people love us, and they don't have anybody. They have a radio station, but they don't have video. So Logansport reached out to John again to say, hey, he was down at Logansport last week, and they said, hey, will you go to Muncie? And John said, yeah.
Cash.
Yeah.
And they ponied up again.
You find me some sponsors.
Casino chips.
Find me some sponsors, and we'll go. So
Hot diggity dogs.
So we are doing the video. We will do video. It will be on our website, and it will also be on the IHSA Champions Network. So you can log in either place you want. And that's what's so nice. Remember last week we were over at Hobart watching that ugly mess. Hobart's good. Hobart will give whoever comes out, either St. Joe or Mishawaka around here, they will give them all they want.
Don't discount Lowell.
And that, so
Are you
there's
doing a
couple
game
good
tomorrow
times.
night?
No, will have the rarity of a Friday night off.
Really?
Really?
So
I am doing St. Joe Northridge tomorrow night.
Yes.
And that's a home game at St. Joe.
St.
Right?
Joe, yeah.
Right across the street.
Yep.
So just real quick, everybody's playing this week. 6A up here in our area. Penn's plays 0-9 Portage. So that, looking forward to the chance to play in Crown Point, which is always an adventure right now with Crown Point being so good.
And that would be at Penn next week if the Penn wins.
They're on the road. Up here in our area, Fort Wayne Carroll is playing Elkhart. So another one, Elkhart has a home game this week. Kokomo is coming up here to South Bend to School Field to play South Bend Adams. The winner of that game
that's a big game for Frankie.
Yeah. And because it's a winnable game. It should be a close game. So Kokomo's 3-6, Adams is 4-5. The winner gets Lafayette Jeff next week, who plays McCutcheon.
Good luck.
Yep. You mentioned over in the sectional that we were involved with last week. Lowell plays East Chicago Central. Hobart plays KV.
Right.
So you're looking at those two teams, they're both very good 4A teams.
And if I'm not mistaken, if I look at that bracket real quick again, Pat, since Hobart is actually, I believe, that game is at KV because KV was on the road last week.
Okay.
So Hobart would host the final.
They would host. Mishawaka has a home game with Plymouth tomorrow night, and St. Joe has a home game. So,
I have the bracket on the screen if you care.
Okay.
So if St. Joe and Mish play, who the game's at Mish?
Right.
I believe so.
Because Mishawaka's only had one home game.
The two best teams up here in this area in 4A are East Noble and Fort Wayne Dwenger. They happen to be in the same sectional. So if they win this week, East Noble plays Fort Wayne Southside and Dwenger plays Columbia City. They would play next week in the final. As we said, we're going to Muncie Central for Logan Sport. The other half of that is Lebanon plays 0-9 Frankfurt. So we've got a chance to maybe go back to Logan Sport next
that
week.
team
That's
is
right.
terrible.
And 3-6 Mishawaka Marion plays Calumet. They've got a chance to be in the finals. Good game, Griffith and Knox. Now, last year they played, it was 62-35.
Yeah.
I would anticipate it might be the same this year. You just never know.
Phil Mason against Russ Radke. Boy, that ought to be entertainment.
So, that ought to be
some of the
big time entertainment.
Those are some of the high school games. Hey, real quick, college. If we were playing college right now, and Notre Dame has an away game this week, right, with Boston College, there are 5 teams from the SEC would be in. Okay, and we had talked about that. Yes, they've got to play each other. So Notre Dame right now is out. Okay, you've got Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, A&M, and Vanderbilt are the 5 SECs that would be in if the tournament started this weekend. In the Big Ten, you've got IU, Ohio State, and Oregon. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
If the tournament doesn't start tomorrow, so why do we care? Why do we care if we're playing the scenarios of if it started today, it's not going to.
This is just a scenario.
Yeah, people in South Bend, they need to know. They want to know all this stuff.
Okay, but if we're simulating out the end of the season, like if Notre Dame wins out, they're in 100%.
Yeah, and we've got a projection of that as well.
And honestly, I think I could see Notre Dame getting back to the title game because like their only 2 losses are combined 4 points to top 5 teams.
Yeah, Notre Dame's playing well right now too.
And Scott, you bring
and
up
they got screwed against A&M.
Yes, they did.
Won.
and I'll tell you this: if A&M and Miami both win if A&M wins the SEC and Miami somehow gets back to the ACC title game and wins, how as a committee do you keep a team that played 2 conference champions out of the tournament? You can't.
I'd honestly put Notre Dame at like 7 at that point.
Do we get to freeze again?
Yeah, we get a home game. So right now in the group of 5, Memphis is the team. The name you're hearing, it could be Tulane. Again, there's so much that's going to happen. You know, the talk shows this week, we're talking about the season starts this weekend because all these other games, now you've got elimination games. So these are all really.
I mean,
playoff
Notre Dame's
games.
played an elimination game starting game 3 or week 3.
I totally agree.
Week 3.
Hey, Q wants to know what the over/under is on games tomorrow with a running clock.
I think
Not as many as we think.
it will be a few. I was looking, the smaller schools have got some top 10 teams playing each other at the high schools.
Yeah.
I was looking at the 6As, 5As, not so much, are a couple in the 4As, but you get down to the 3As and 2As, you've got some top 10 teams that are playing each other.
One game we forgot to mention that's going to take place tomorrow night, Warsaw and Concord. That's going to be at Freed Field.
Yeah, that's going to be a great game. But I will say this much: the running clock with Penn and Portage will start at 3:30. They may not even get the game; may be over before kickoff starts.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And Mishawaka Plymouth, the running clock will start at 5 o'clock.
Do we want to talk about your Bears at all?
No, they suck. They're bad. But
how long before they pull the plug on Caleb?
Oh
Williams?
no! Are you kidding me?
That ain't gonna happen.
No. Caleb Williams is going to be a good quarterback.
Newsflash: the Jets won their first game last week.
Yeah, Justin Fields, good for him. Little redemption.
And they beat the Bengals.
I mean, Woody Johnson's a freaking idiot as the owner of the Jets.
And who did the Bears play this week?
The Bengals.
And who's going back to their third quarterback because
the Bengals.
The Bengals, yeah.
Flacco is hurt.
Yeah, hey,
He's
listen.
been hurt for the last 2 weeks.
You guys
he
can
played.
continue this show. I see 2 pizzas on that table.
I'm headed there too.
I'm headed there.
Those are great.
Pat, you're the absolute best. Kenny, thanks for coming in. Whoops. And I am Ron Hecklinski. This has been one of my favorite shows. We had an absolute blast today because we weren't up against anything. We could talk about whatever we wanted to.
Yeah, and Q, you're right. Anderson versus Cathedral. Oh my, they may start the clock before they get on the
No,
bus.
the clock starts tonight on that one.
They may say just stay home.
Running clock tonight for Anderson
They may
Cathedral.
stay home. All right, we'll be back next week. We'll talk more. We'll talk about the World Series.
And we'll talk about some Notre Dame basketball. We may go Monday night to watch them play.
Yep. Believe it or not,
We're going to have Rich Donnelly on next week also.
this season, Indiana State plays Charlotte, and Notre Dame plays Long Island Monday night. They've got 2 games next week. Thanks, everybody. We'll
You're
see
the
you
best.
next week.
Love you guys.